Guilt manifests in different ways in different cultures. When I grew up, there was a fair amount of guilt in my family, and I kind of began to bring that into my life. Not because I wanted to, but it was just part of growing up. For the last 33 years, I've lived in northern India, in the foothills of the Himalayas, in a Tibetan refugee community with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And what I've noticed is people there, my friends, they can experience shame and they can experience regret. But they do it in such a way that they don't beat themselves up. That aspect of guilt is the more harmful aspect. That's the domestic terrorist that robs us of our feeling good about ourselves. So among Tibetans, when they feel shame or regret, it helps kind of keep them from harming themselves or others. It's very practical. They don't beat themselves up. In fact, in the Tibetan language, there's no word for guilt. And in Buddhism, there's no real concept for guilt. There is, as I mentioned, shame and regret. And the notion there is to keep us from harm without beating ourselves up. So my friends, they know self-confidence very well. And the ones that are more practitioners, they're not arrogant, they're humble, but they're strong. They have wonderful self-confidence. Some years ago, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, when he first came to America in 1979 and then a follow-up trip in 1981, he was told about this attitude of beating yourself up, of self-doubt, of having low self-esteem, thinking that you're worthless. And he kept asking questions. What is that? Is it like this? Is it like that? And it became clear to us after a while, he didn't get it. He didn't understand what guilt was. He didn't understand what beating yourself up was. And after a number of years of interacting with Westerners and having this discussion, he started to understand, at least to some degree, what guilt meant. So this is good evidence that some cultures don't even have guilt. And I've learned that guilt, it's not very helpful. In fact, it's a destroyer. Guilt is almost like a domestic terrorist. It terrorizes us. It takes away our joy, and worse than that, our self-respect. Now, I've come to learn that guilt is not our own. We think we own it. We think it's ours, but it's not. So where did guilt come from? If we look carefully inside, you do this, I do this. Look carefully inside. Where did the guilt come from? What we often find is it came from childhood when we were tiny. And then how did we pick it up? You know, it's not something you can get by someone coughing in your face. Rather, it's something that you get by somebody telling you you're no good. You're a girl. You can't do that. You have very poor hand-eye coordination. Talking about being an athlete when you grow up? Come on. Or you're not very smart. You want to pursue some sort of an academic career? Forget it. And we heard that again and again and again. Maybe from a parent. Maybe from an older sibling. Maybe a neighbor. Maybe a family friend. And we heard it again and again and again. And hearing it over and over again, we began to make it ours. We began to take this feeling of guilt that I'm no good. This feeling that I can't accomplish anything. This feeling that I'm not worthy or valuable as our own. It's not our own. It came from someone else. Recognizing this gives us the permission to throw it to the wind. Throw it to the wind. Just throw it to the wind. It won't happen the first time you throw it to the wind. You won't liberate your guilt. But if you're persistent and you throw it to the wind again and again and again, you will begin to reduce the power of that guilt over you. You will begin to reduce your guilt. You will begin to reduce that putting yourself down attitude. I know. I don't do that much anymore. I've worked at this for many, many years. It happens occasionally, but not very often. And when it does, I almost can laugh at it. Not laughing at me, but laughing at this attitude of feeling guilty. Because I know deeply it's not mine. It was imposed upon me. So please, everyone, right now, take your guilt, take it in your hand, and throw it to the wind.